I'm happy to welcome here at the class Marketing Trends 2021. So as you see, this year we have a lot of changes in all the industries. That's why we have really interesting speakers who work in different industries, in different companies, in different sectors. So we're going to ask them questions about digital marketing, about all the trends that we have nowadays. So usually we have a talk, it's like a cup of coffee, it's really friendly, really sincere, and people like these conversations. So but today I would like to do it other way around a little bit. Usually I present our speakers, but now I would like to ask you quickly to present yourself. So Alvaro, if we start with you, just like several words about you, who you are and what you do.
Great, Tatiana. Well, thank you very much for organizing these events. I think these are great. And well, my name is Alvaro. I'm born and raised in Barcelona in 1992. And since 2018, I've been working in 2019, sorry, I've been working for a multinational company based in London called Entain. Basically, it's one of the largest companies in the gambling industry. And right now I work as an SEO manager for bwin, one of the brands across the globe, basically. And one of my challenges here in my current role is to ensure that we accomplish all the KPIs. Basically, we rank better than our competitors on Google organically. And that's what I do. And next. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Sonia, what's about you?
Hello, well, it's very nice to meet you all. My name is Sonia Gomez. I am marketing manager at European Life Media. I am originally from Colombia, but I've been living here in Barcelona. I'm Barcelona based for around 2 years. And I've been in the company for 1.5 years. Well, European Life Media, it's an award-winning publisher with a focus on luxury brands. And we have several digital products for our clients. So we do interactive digital magazines, and we also have other products for social media, for different distribution channels. And well, right now, currently, we're also organizing 2 luxury events for next year. And they will be the meeting point for the luxury industry. So what I do basically is to make sure that our clients have the greatest visibility. We have different strategies to do that with our digital products. And well, organizing also the events for 2022, which I will be telling you a little bit more in a few minutes. So well, thank you, Tatiana, for having me, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Great. Thank you, Sonia. Stephanie, what about you?
Hello again, Tatiana. I met Tatiana like 6 years ago. We just came to Barcelona. I've been like 4 years already working for the Volkswagen Group, especially for SEAT. And now, I've been developing myself for the past 2 years as a media manager for the after sales teams, and my role is to ensure that the business objectives are taken into account when it comes to the paid media strategy. So yes.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Stephanie. Harzerat, are you here? Can you hear us? Because I cannot see you. Hello.
Hello. Thank you, Tatiana, for having us here. So, well, I'm Harsirat Kaur, and I am professor for different business schools here in Barcelona. Particularly, I'm doing my research in neuromarketing, which is, we can say that the future of marketing. Despite that, I am working as the experiential brand manager for a natural cosmetics brand. So it's a French brand that I am working with. So yes, that's fine.
Thank you, Harzerat. So now you know who are our speakers, so you know to whom you might ask your questions. You might be more direct. So let's start. Alvaro, let's start with you. The first one question, we're going to talk about marketing trends. So the first question is your definition of marketing and your definition of trend, like this one. If you could say it to us quickly.
Okay, good question, Tatiana. My definition of marketing and trend. Well, basically, a trend is something that changes every now and again, every year, we can say. And the definition of marketing changes as well every time. So basically, marketing and trend, it's something that, in my opinion, comes together with this. It's basically, we're talking about the same, and we're talking about change in general. So basically, we're here to discuss what's the next change in marketing, what's gonna change compared to the previous year towards the future, right? And
Okay, so
my
what are the main three trends for you now? What are
so I would say the first, obviously, I have to talk about my niche, which is SEO.
obviously.
So I would say SEO, it's one of the trends, especially link building. I was having a chat today with one friend about link building. Massimiliano is here. Hello, and we were discussing about what's the future of SEO and link building. And obviously, this is something that's pretty much starting. All the companies. This is something that all the companies need to build.
What is link building in general? Like
Link,
what?
link building, it's the art of building links from other websites that points to your website, basically. So building links, all right, in different websites that are talking about you somehow. So basically, this is a clear signal to Google that indicates that your website is more relevant because is receiving more links than the competitors. Right?
Okay,
And
so for instance, we have our website of Neuroscience Business School. So we need to find, I'll talk about our example, I guess, for me, it's easier and it's more productive for me. So we have to find other one companies that will put our name on their website. And like that, we're going to go up, right?
Exactly, that's correct. And in my niche, in my industry, this is something that pays off really well. Actually, you can pay up to 1,000 euros for a link if you want, if it's a very good link, or even more. It depends, no? But generally, it's something that it's that everyone is buying and selling, because we all know that the more links you have, the better rankings you will get as well. So, and that would be the trend number one. For the second and third, I would say video events. I think video events are something that's trending as well now that we don't have on-site events. And finally, YouTube. I would say the future of marketing is on YouTube as well. So that would be my third trend.
So, well, as you are a professional and in SEO and SEM and all that part, what would you say about the searching system? How it changes? So it's about link building, right?
So the search system, pretty much it's like it has small changes every year, but not like huge ones. So basically, it works with three principles: links, content, and the technical side. So if your technical side from your website, it's all right. If your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and so on, it's well placed. If your content, it's great, and then you have links pointing to your website, then your SEO strategy must go really well, somehow.
Okay, so three main things.
Yeah, three main, yeah, like things.
Okay. And during the last year, the searching system, it didn't change a lot, no?
There are big updates that we call like core updates that it really changed. If you're not doing the things right, so buying and selling links, this is something that's against Google policies, but it's something that everyone does. because you need it to in order to rank better, because sometimes just technical and content it's not enough. So if you are buying links the wrong way, you can be penalized by Google.
So the question is how to buy it in the correct way.
Exactly, that's the question, and that's even a profession. You know, there are link building specialists, like only specialized on links.
So
That's
so you propose to find a person responsible for it and not to do
definitely.
it. So.
I mean, it's here in this room. So
Okay.
Massimiliano, you can say something if you want.
Hello, Maximiliano. Where are you?
He's the best expert I know in terms of links. I mean, I work with him in our company, and he's very good. Yeah.
Okay, Maximiliano, if you would like to say something, you're more than welcome if you would like to join us. I guess no. Okay, could be further on. Okay, Alvaro, thank you. Well, we'll skip, and if someone has, I mean, the speakers, if you have any questions to Alvaro, or if you would like to add something, you are more than welcome. So it's like a direct conversation. Okay.
Yep. Cheers.
Sonia, what about you? The luxury industry, how does it work there? Marketing trends in luxury, how it changes, where we go?
Well, yeah. Well, the luxury industry, I think, has been changing a lot for the past year, because it's what luxury, like the concept of luxury, you know, it's changing really fast, especially after the world pandemic. You find new definitions of what luxury is. So that's something that you have to be really aware of, because, for example, let's say that well, with that, and also depending on the location you are. For example, in Europe, you would say, what is luxury to you? Well, luxury can be drinking wine, enjoying the beach. Maybe if you go to Middle East, luxury is something completely different. It's all about the gems, the gold. So of course, it's something that varies. But what something that we've seen in the past months and the past year, it's luxury tech. It's something that it's very influential, and the way that it's now linked to what consumers are buying in luxury, it's incredible. It's now about, I think the market, it's not all about buying a lot of things, but people now, the luxury consumer wants to buy more exclusive things, not necessarily because they have a higher price or or things like this, but it's more about the exclusivity. So what we've been doing is that, okay, we have content which we distribute in many different ways. This is actually our vision. Literally, our vision is promotion is only effective when done in many ways, promoted many times over a long period of time, and as close as your target group as possible. Because you may have really good content, but you need to create brand awareness. And that's the only way to do it, is to know exactly what distribution channels your target is consuming. One of the trends that I've been seeing quite a lot right now is audio. Like right now, it's all about audio. Well, we see it, we listen to podcasts everywhere we go. It's all about fast things that you can consume really fast. So actually in European Life, one of the projects that we have right now is our podcast to talk about different things in the luxury industry, corporate, and also more influencer kind of things. But it's all about audio. So, well, yeah, that's one of the trends that I would be saying that is changing in luxury. Also, by the way, luxury tech is very linked to what consumers are looking for. And yeah, I think you have to be adapted to that. That's why we have different kind of products, because of course every client and every market is completely different. So yeah, I think it's more about being able to adapt to your target's needs, because depending on the age, depending on the location, luxury can vary a lot. So yeah, that's what we consider the most, the way that we distribute and the content, and the way that we talk to the target.
That's well, I agree here with you because like luxury in one country, it's like completely different story with a luxury
Yeah.
in a different country. But as far as I know, you are present mainly in three countries: Russia, India, and China. No, or you've changed, or now
Well,
you're global.
no, well, we're global. Actually, well, we have
Mhm,
sales agents based here in Europe, also in the Middle East,
mhm,
and also in the US, in America.
mhm.
But right now, we are focusing a lot in Europe and in Middle East areas, especially in Europe. As I told you, we are preparing our luxury events for next year, for 2022.
Mhm.
And we're having our European Life Luxury Trade Show, which is going to be here in Barcelona in Fira de Montjuic, which is a venue here in Barcelona. And we're also having Luxury Week Spain. And this Luxury Week is going to be held in four main cities for now. It's going to be held in Barcelona, Sevilla, Madrid, and Valencia. So Luxury Week is going to be a week where it's basically an opportunity for retail and hospitality to be seen, to have the most visibility possible. And we will be having restaurants, hotels, and stores involved, having special menus, special discounts. It's a way to bring back the luxury consumer tourist, and for these brands to be seen, especially after this period of time where stores
Okay.
had to be closed. And then our European Life Luxury Trade Show, which is basically an event, a meeting point for the luxury industry, where we will be having different exhibitors from travel, business, jewelry,
Well,
fashion.
that's the thing to organize events. It's always good
Yeah.
for the clients and also good for the companies. But if we talk about the publicity, for instance, if we talk about the magazine, so what are the trends in the publicity itself? Is it personalized? Is it like, there were some years when there were popular shock publicities when you think like you look at the picture and you think, wow, that's something like, what are the luxury trends in the publicity nowadays?
Well, the content has to be very direct, very clean, since you know that now the consumer is really fast.
Uh-huh.
So you have to make sure that your message is direct, very clean, because people won't be spending a lot in reading a magazine, reading a post. Everything is so fast. So that's something that you have to think about whenever we're designing, let's say, an advertisement, or we're designing our own digital magazines. Also, what we have is that our digital magazines are also interactive, which means that in the magazine we have different things like videos displayed right away in the magazine. We also have the possibility of having augmented reality. So you're seeing the magazine and you have it with your phone. You can have these images. So it's all about creating an immersive experience for the consumer, which is something different, because since everything is now online, it's okay, how can you capture someone's attention without it being, let's say, too much, without being wild, or like you know what I mean, like to keep it clean. So I think it's more about creating an immersive experience, something interactive. That's why I mentioned also the audio, and also about being very direct and clean with your message.
Okay, good. So, from your side, it's audio. You have to pay a lot of attention to audio. It's like
Yeah.
advice for brands. Then the publicity itself, it has to be fast and it has to be direct, right?
Yeah, exactly. Impersonalized, of course.
Personalized.
Yeah, luxury is all about personalized. It's a very specific segment. You have to really think of who is the person reading my magazine or reading my post, and it has very specific characteristics, what the person does, what do they work. So I think luxury, it's all about everything being very custom made for that particular target.
Okay, good. Thank you a lot, Sonia. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stephanie, what about you? What is marketing for you and what is digital marketing for you? Because I know that your passion is digital marketing.
Sure, yes. So if we take into account the famous Philip Kohler definition, we will match what a company is doing and what are the necessities of a customer that maybe is intrinsic, that this person might not know, and combining it. So That will be marketing, the fusion of it, okay? And when it comes to digital marketing, yes, it's taking the lead of all the marketing that we know. We can say the 4 P's of marketing, right? That we used to be the traditional one. This has been transformed into every industry and whatever. But from my side, although I get to see all the paid channels, which is advertising, I kind of trying to see the omni-channel strategy. Okay, from this side, I agree of things that Albert and Sonia has said when it comes to trends. Okay, for example, we have different channels, right? But we have one target. However, this target behaves differently according to different channels. It doesn't consume all the channels. So we kind of be consistent across our message in all the channels, but we got to be present, right? So for me, one of the trends will be personalization, as Sonia mentioned, right? This is one of the powerful tools some big companies have. It might be difficult for some small companies. However, Facebook is taking the lead on this and is prioritizing A/B testing, okay, on the Facebook Business Manager. So that's going to be helping as well small businesses, okay. It's all a matter of taste A/B, trying what's it best, trying what works for my audience, trying different audiences, and measuring the messages, okay, because everybody's doing advertising. This is a fact. It's just a matter of how you're going to be relevant, how we're going to deliver an important message for the customer. And my second trend will be, as I believe Sonia mentioned as well, but from my side will be audio ads. So let's call the percentage of people who is adopting this intelligence devices like Alexa, like Echo, like Siri is growing and growing and growing. It's faster, and with the pandemic, this actually has grown exponentially, and so it's quite easy to find yourself with using Alexa, and Alexa's already recommending you what to buy that you haven't buy. For example, in my case, that I was amazed. Like I'm a heavy user of kombucha, and Alexa was reminding me that I haven't got kombucha in a month. But she doesn't know I'm getting kombucha in the store, right? So of course it's still there's work to do from Amazon, right? But this is completely a trend because in my case, Alexa is part of my life every day. And then it goes automatization that apart, I mean, taking to aside being companies that have a lot of budget and they have an agency, I believe for small businesses, this is key to integrate in one to all the messages and to make it easier for them. And that will allow them, of course, to have an omni-channel strategy as well, but with a lower budget. So yes, for me, automatization in terms of businesses, not maybe in terms of consumer, is key for 2021, 2022.
Okay, great. Digital marketing, how's it changing? Like nowadays, it's popular. What do you think about, like in the classes, we talk about all the channels. We even talk about TikTok, that the companies have to be present there. Yes or no? It's like, even though you find it like kind of stupid, you might, but you have to be there. What are the main trends in digital marketing?
Okay, the thing with TikTok at the beginning, of course, we all know we started with the dances and everything. However, the penetration of TikTok is exponentially. One thing that Instagram is not giving us right now. Some people might say they're tired of Instagram. However, Instagram is a channel that's still working, but TikTok give us visibility, something that is kind of hard right now with Instagram and Facebook because they have prioritized not on content but ads because they live on that. Okay. So right now for someone might be easier to be found on TikTok. So yes, it is a good strategy to be on TikTok. However, as it is important to highlight on all the channel is a matter of how relevant your message is. So first, the strategy is really important. You can be on every channel, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna be relevant for everybody. So first, you gotta know your strategy, you gotta know your customer, and then you will need to analyze which channels are useful for you. So maybe for a small business, TikTok will be a really amazing tool. Yes, for sure. To get relevance, to get highlight, to get visibility.
Okay, something else you might recommend?
Yeah, automatization.
Automation.
As I mentioned before, yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's quite useful for small businesses.
It's the key. That's true. I remember 2 years ago. Do you remember when in Instagram appeared these one masks, and then all the famous bloggers they started to use that. And I, in the beginning, I thought like, why do they do that? And then I understood that when you create your own mask in the Instagram, appears your name, and when people start using you this one mask, they see your name everywhere, and it's like the tool to promote yourself. Because in the beginning I thought like, why do you need that?
Yeah.
Like, no, everything is a brand strategy.
I
Even
mean, the trick with digital marketing that in marketing we have like the basics rule, we know how to follow, but the platforms are the one who are constantly changing. Okay, so in terms of the mask, in terms of the changes that TikTok are doing, Instagram, whatever, it's just a matter to see which work for a business. Okay, some of them, for example, Reels, give us visibility because the platform is actually pushing this kind of format to compete against TikTok. So yes, I mean, with the tricky part of digital marketing is to know the trends and to see what works for me and what don't. So Taste AP, as I mentioned before, which comes with personalization, is quite useful for everybody to understand what your target needs, what is consuming, etc., what is appealing to them.
Okay, great. Thank you a lot, Stephanie. Thank you. Harzarat, let's talk about neuromarketing. What are the trends nowadays? So our objective itself is to bring neuromarketing. I talk right now about neuroscience business school is to bring neuromarketing to small and medium businesses. So could you talk about it? If we should use it in our publicity, in our social media, and how?
Well, I think so. In today's economy is experiential economy. Like, the shift has been done already. Now it's not only the economy which focus on products or, the commodity. It's not commoditized economy no longer, and it has shifted into experience. It's not about what you are selling. It's about how you are selling nowadays. So it's the key thing and it's the force behind everything in today's marketing. As Sonia was explaining, I was working in the luxury industry for a luxury magazine called Cheeky Con. So definitely, it's about market segmentation. I think so. You have to find out which is your right target audience, who is your brand persona. So again, all comes to the experiential marketing. It's like how your customer is feeling, how their experience is with your brand or with your product or service. So as we know that we take decisions from brain and brain is related with the heart, so 95% of the decisions are being taken by your subconscious and from the emotional level. So neuromarketing is, you can say, it is present in everything, and it is emerging at a very great pace. So yes, it's a future of marketing, and it is present everywhere. Like if you see the color of the logo of any brand, so it's not only a logo; it has some meaning. Meaning is about what color is it. So let's take the example of neuroscience business school. So you have chosen the color purple and the grid. So it reflects an image of something innovative, something exquisite. It's not ordinary. So it's something which is unique, which is differentiated.
And what is neuromarketing in general? Like, let's start with the definition
Yes.
because some people are scared about it.
Well, I think so. It's very simple to understand, and we should be very comfortable with it because it is everywhere. It is with everything we see. It is within everything we use. So if I start with the definition, so neuromarketing comes from the combination of two words, which is called neuroscience and marketing. So we club these two words with neuroscience marketing or neuromarketing. So basically, neuroscience is a study or is a research where we understand how human brain works and how it responds to certain stimuli. Let's say whenever we feel happy with some experience or with something, then then we respond to that stimuli. So we will feel happy, and happiness is one stimuli, right? So what happens in the brain when we feel sad or when we are in anger or when we are happy? So the research that is being done is the study of neuroscience. And when we apply these study into the marketing, that is the combination. Like we apply the knowledge, how the human brain works, what are the psychological facts, that how is the human psychology. When it is applied into marketing, that is called neuromarketing.
Mhm.
So this is the basic definition. However, it is very simple, right? See, we take decisions from our brain, so it is present every time. We can say, for example, when we go to the supermarket, we automatically get attracted towards the things that we usually buy. So here what comes subconscious mind, you know. So the memories are always into our subconscious. So it's mandatory today to understand how your consumer behaves, because only then you can create the experiences for them. You can engage them into your with your brand. So it is very very important to understand the psychological behavior.
And what are the trends right now in neuromarketing, and how can small businesses use it?
But yes, so first of all, I would like to say that the proper market segmentation is must. We must know which is our target audience. So proper market research is being done. Only then after that we can create experience accordingly. Second thing is experiential brand marketing. So this is the new trend. Like people are tired of receiving a lot of emails and push kind of marketing. So people like to get engaged with your brand and the activities that your brand organize. So experiential marketing is also the current trend of the market. Yes, so these are the trends. However, the sensory marketing is also quite trending. So it's another term. So we can say when we involve all the senses of a human being into the marketing, that is called sensory marketing. So as Sonia explained, that audio and visuals are the key things. So it is what we see and what we hear. So it's how the human feel when they see certain videos or when they when they hear certain sounds. So what experience they get from it. So we cannot, we cannot like all the music which is being played. So specific products, specific services have certain sounds that we have to figure out which sounds or which visuals we have to adapt. So these are the current trends of the market.
Okay, amazing, very useful. Alvaro, you might add something to what just Harzarat said. Might be, as you are one of our students as well, so you are almost a professional in neuromarketing. Could be you might add something.
Yeah, well, I would like to add the digital side of it, the digital part of neuromarketing. So we can apply, as Harsirat has said, the study of the brain, how our brain reacts to our different inputs with our senses. And in terms of digital, we can design better products, better websites, better mobile applications, and so on, using neuromarketing techniques, applying different intensities of colors, different sizes or shapes, or ways of
Movement,
organizing
whatever.
information. Exactly. So we can, through A/B testing, we can select what works best for all the users somehow. So that's what I could add, maybe.
Okay, thank you a lot. Stephanie, do you have something to add?
I have something to add because there are some questions on the chat about the omnichannel from Roberto. Advantage or disadvantage? I believe the disadvantage from this side is from small businesses to allocate more resources to adapt their messages into different channels, because it's not that you shouldn't, right, put the same message on the same channels, because every channel has its particularity. Okay, so you should create content from each of the channels, and the advantages will be that your target is not on every channel. Okay, so your message should be consistent across all the channels to cut your target on the channel they are consuming. So that will be the advantage, to actually be present, and that will be easier for them to cut your message. So I will add that. Yes, I will add that.
Great. Like in marketing, I remember it from when I've been studying. I have an MBA in international marketing. So the best one answer when someone asks you something about marketing, the best one answer is it depends. Because really, it depends. You cannot be like that strict. It always has advantages, disadvantages. It depends like whom your target audience is.
Maybe in the past it was more abstract, but now, since we have so much data, it's quite easy to put the facts on data. So yeah, that will be data skin right now. So I believe it's kind of easier to say what work and what doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So let's go to questions then. If you already started with that, I see one question I guess this is more for Alvaro. If you see the chat, I have a question. Is it better to do SEO or PPC advertising when you don't really have a presence online? So if you don't have a presence online, that's a good question. What to do right now? To go online, no?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the typical question, the most common question. What should I invest? SEO, PPC? So, well, if you have money and you don't care spending your money on advertising, I would start with PPC, obviously, because it's way faster. So if your business is brand new, what you are interested, obviously, is to showing up as soon as possible. What are you doing? What are you selling? What is your service in general, right? And with SEO, that's something slow. That's something that you have to do a very good work, and maybe in the first 6 months you can start seeing some results, But SEO, typically, it's something that takes time. That takes a year, maybe. I don't have a specific time, right? But technically, minimum you need like 6 months to see some basic results on SEO. If the niche is very if the industry is very competitive, it's even harder, So I would say start with PPC, investing a little bit, and in the meantime do SEO until you see some results from SEO, and then you will lower the investment on PPC.
Okay.
That would be.
Well, it's for me, it's a very difficult question here. It's all about timing as well. It's all about timing, right? Stephanie, I guess this one question is for you. Alex asks, what about digital marketing trends in B2B? as Instagram and TikTok cannot always be applied to B2B.
Yeah, for sure. I believe in in this case. I will take what you just mentioned before, that it depends. It depends on the industry. So I will take that into account. Sometimes with B2B, it works a lot. The content that you can have on your website, the blog posts, articles. So I guess it will depend of the restrictions of the industry. For example, we have the pharmacy and healthcare industry that in Europe is quite restricted. So there, the trends in digital marketing, they're still omni-channel. So it's like how you can communicate with the healthcare practitioners, and very at the top of the funnel to the a patient, for example. So I guess it will depend of the industry and the characteristics. Okay, but in that case, I would just push yes, website content, articles, but while not forgetting the trends that it can be video, it can be audio. For example, B2B podcast can be quite useful, right? Yes, because it's a matter of taking into account your upper part of the funnel and delivering important and relevant content for that part of the funnel. Like, could work very well for B2B. Yes.
Okay, great. And how to write a correct article?
How to write a correct article? Well, since we cannot do everything by ourselves, I would recommend to hire a copywriter.
Yeah, more or less. But what an article should be like? Oh, well, Alvaro, I know, because
Maybe Alvaro knows better with the SEO. Yes.
so if you could give us a piece of advice how to do it correctly, if you don't have, for instance, you don't have money to hire someone, but more or less the main one rules for the article.
Yeah, so basically for writing the perfect article, as Stephanie says, the ideal thing is you might be someone that has like a passion for writing and for communicating through text, because the article must be catchy, must be something that everyone would like to read. So the first thing you need to consider is the title. So what's the description of the article? How would you name the article, basically? So you can say a simple word, or you can say top 10 places to visit in Barcelona, or something you didn't know about that restaurant in Barcelona. So something that catches your attention, exactly, and then it basically drives you to read more, okay, and to be more interested on it. So basically that's using neuromarketing techniques for the eye, right? You are reading something, and then you are using, okay, let's see how can we influence this person so he can think that in this article we'll find something super curious or super interesting. So that's the rule number one. Play with the curiosity, and with that, it's with the title and with the image description, with the main image. This is something super easy to do. Then obviously you need to write something that makes sense with what you are selling. It's like if you are writing something that it's completely opposite of what you're selling. If you are talking about restaurants and then you write something regarding cinemas,
Weather.
I don't know, exactly, or the weather, or something really poor, then the user will say, okay, what am I doing here? I'm wasting my time, you know? So obviously you have to give something to the user in exchange for their time. Okay, they're gonna spend some time reading your piece of content, so at least give something back to the user, something that's genuine, that's quality content, you know. And then in regards of SEO, you need to consider what we call the HTML tags. So basically when we write articles, we consider the language, we do it with the markup language of HTML, and there are different tags inside the HTML that are helpful for Google and for the user. to find the information. Like, for example, adding an H1 or an H2, which is the title 1 or title 2 to the article, which is basically the difference of size from one word to the other, and adding a very clear introduction, very clear conclusions, and pretty much, I mean, trying to put everything as simple as possible. If you can put in order numbers 1, 2, 3, numerate things, put, you know, and enrich the content, put some bold, some italics, a little bit of hyperlinks, internal linkings to other articles. Yeah, use external resources, references, a little bit, you know.
So it's not that easy.
Well, it's a science. Yeah, there is a profession. That's basically what Stephanie said. There are the copywriters that they are just experts on writing articles. And when you read an article in a famous newspaper, usually it's made by a copywriter, not even a journalist anymore. Sometimes they are, because they convert way better, because they know which techniques they use, which neuromarketing techniques they have to use for selling you whatever needs to be sold. Even if it's even just 2 or 3 minutes of the time, that's your thing in exchange. You know, when you visit something, you exchange your time.
Okay.
So,
I will complement on what Alvaro said that might be useful for content creators, right? To think about what your target is looking. There are some free tools of that SEO can help you. And also it's quite popular to look at to just use like Google Trends on the basic Google search bar to understand what your target is using and maybe use some keywords, but that's like the first layer. But yeah.
Okay.
yeah, there are many tools: SEMrush, Ahrefs, Keyword Planner from Google.
Yeah, well, I would like to add the last thing here, maybe. So actually, for an interesting article, when you add pictures and when you make a combination of words and picture in an effective way, that could also be an interesting article. You know, the pictures appeals most to the reader. So it is a break between the text and the picture. So whatever you are explaining, if you are providing the relevant pictures with your argument, then your article would be quite impressive.
Mm-hmm. So it's all about emotions, right?
Yes, how you are engaging your reader with your text, because sometimes it's boring to read the text. So, but if you are breaking uh, in between with the pictures, then it would be quite impressive.
I guess Sonia, you in your articles you use it a lot, right? With pictures,
Yeah. Well,
interactive things,
yeah,
right?
pictures. It's all about creating. Of course, it depends of what kind of articles you're writing, but if it's to sell, let's say a product, you always want to tell a story. It's always about the story. Like when somebody's buying a product, I think it's more about what it's behind that product. With what in luxury, it's like that. It's not only you're buying this watch, but it's what the watch will make you feel or how it will make you look. It's about the story behind. So you have to always go put that text with very good images and make sure that what you're telling it touches a lot of emotions, I think. Also, I think that the first lines of the article, well, of course, the headline has to be something catchy, as Alvaro and Stephanie mentioned. It has to be something that plays with you, that you want to know more about it. But also, I think that the first lines of the article, it's really important, because let's say if you're sharing this article in another platform, Facebook, LinkedIn, you always have these first lines over there. So it's like if you read just a couple, there's something that pushes you to read more. So it's like you have to play with that. So I think that neuroscience has a lot to do with this, because it's always about playing with emotions. And as we know, I think that everything is so fast right now that you have to captivate a person's attention in 5 seconds. That's why, for example, reels or TikToks are so viral, because they are very, I don't know, you go in there and you see lots of colors and things. But I've seen, like, for example, for Instagram, I've been seeing trends, for example, these big companies paying the directors of movies to build an ad, a video ad that is, I don't know, 5 seconds. And they have to do it. They have to explain everything in 5 seconds and bring people to go to another platform, to go to another link, and you have 5 seconds to do it. So I think it's the same with articles. It's about keeping throughout all the article, keeping people engaged. So having a headline from one to time, let's say not have all the text laid in there, but divided into topics, into numbers. So that way you always want to know more. And the pictures, of course, is really important to build that storytelling.
So it's all about emotions again. Emotions and being fast.
Yeah,
Right.
it's about emotions and being fast.
That's true. Okay, Harzarat, here we have a tricky question. By neuromarketing, we can also influence the audience. Can we influence the audience by neuromarketing?
Well, neuromarketing is all about captivating your customer by creating positive emotions, So, because the main aim of every company is to create the brand awareness and brand value. So here where neuromarketing comes. So it's all about engaging your customer, creating positive experiences in their life without disturbing them in their daily life. So it should be very natural, so they feel like it's natural. We are not pushing the customer, but at the same time we are attracting them. They come to us automatically. So I would like to give an example here. And so it's an example of Coca-Cola. So what they do, sorry, it's yes. So they placed iconic truck in UK. So they played a contest that the lucky winner would get the chance to spend 2 nights inside the truck, iconic truck. So it's kind of a luxurious experience, right? Inside of the truck was very luxurious. A lot of snacks were there, and it was a Christmas time. So and they played a contest there, like maybe there was some of the rules that they have to follow or something like this, like the brands do nowadays. So here they influence the target audience, like the one who like Coca-Cola or the beverages. At the same time, they targeted the another audience as well. So let's say the tourists who are being visiting that place, UK. So the one thing is iconic truck, so it is a signature of the brand. Another thing is they are creating experience for the customers, so they are touching the untouched target as well. So even the people who don't like Coca-Cola, but they are catching their attention. So in this way, when brands create experiences, they can touch the untouched customers as well, while targeting the right audience, customer audience.
Great, thank you. Sital, I guess Harzarat answered both your questions, right? Here we have.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you a lot. Anil, here we have your comment that while Harzarat was talking about neuromarketing, you've written that that could be named as biology, buy from buying. Yes, yes, I agree here.
There is a quick one. There is a book called Biology, actually, written for Martin Lindstrom, which is very good. If you like to introduce,
if you could put it down in the comments,
yeah,
like the name of the book and also the author would be amazing. Good.
It is very, very interesting book about neuromarketing and how the basics are being covered. Yeah.
Okay, great. We have a question about from Mohammed. What's the best way for a young non-profit organization to initiate ads effectively with the Google Ads, Keyword Planner, or CM? So I guess it's more for Stephanie or for Alvaro, guys. Who's in?
Stephanie, I think. What was the question? Sorry, I was writing the.
So what is the best way for a young nonprofit organization to initiate ads effectively with Google Ads, Keywords Planner, or CM?
The best way. Well, we have a dilemma here because it's always the same money. You know, depends on the money or the budget you have. Everyone wants to be the first, or everyone wants to be, you know, showing up for the first rankings in Google search, but no one wants to pay a single penny. You know, so obviously, if you don't want to pay, then do SEO. And then you have to bear in mind that SEO is not completely free because it costs a lot of money to write the articles, to do the link building, and to set up a right technical website, you know, in terms of tech. But if you do have a bit of money, a bit of budget, then consider investing it on some keywords. I would say a couple of them, not obviously not, don't play with all of them, but you can just select, I don't know, top 5 or top 10 keywords, and then plan a good campaign with Google AdWords, and then tiramillas, you know, we say, go. What do you say, Stephanie?
So yeah, the keyword planner, it's a good tool that Google Ads give you and that you could use for SEO as well. However, as Alvaro was mentioning, it's quite tricky, right? To start on SEM, because yes, you gotta have budget, and of course it will depend of your industry. Some keywords are more expensive than others. However, yes, you could cover the basics, but here I will add as well to completely know your target, look what they're looking for, and bid on that. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Here we have a question from Alex that would like to add something to his previous question. If you play around with content writing, shouldn't we also consider the keywords, as this will affect the bounce rate? Thank you.
I think we covered that in the past. Yes, talking about how important it is in terms of, Alvaro was mentioning all the SEO and SEM technicism, but to understand what your target is looking for. So I recommend it. So very basic tools like Google Ads, Google Trends, like what people ask, and yes, those are keywords you can use for sure.
Great. We have a comment from Sonia, and she would like to know more about link building, where she can find it. Alvaro, might be you can give a piece of advice here.
Yeah, I think he's on the chat, and that was the question for. Sorry, that was
from Sonia Gomez.
Sonia. Yeah, Massimiliano was the guy that I was talking about, and he's here on the chat, so you can send Massimiliano a direct message on the.
Or Massimiliano, if you could add, for instance, a link to your LinkedIn, for instance, why not?
Exactly, or on LinkedIn.
Here
he just added the Skype, Massi Reverso, the Skype, so.
As well. Okay, so here we have a comment, I guess, from Massimiliano. It's important to put the main keywords in the article. So it was the answer for Alex as well. So, and what about other web browsers like Bing, Fireworks, etc.? Are they also their ads effective? Can we use it? A good one question. By the way, we always talk about Google. And what about the other ones? Alvaro, what do you think?
Okay, so basically in Spain,
Here to see like all
yeah.
what no.
No,
Digital marketing.
basically, Google is used in Spain, in Europe, for 95 to 98% of the users. So pretty much, it doesn't make any sense to pay any attention to other web browsers, because Google is clearly the #1 and the leader on the market.
Well, I guess it depends on the country because, for instance, in Russia we use Yandex,
Yandex
and
and
so if you are targeting the Russian audience, there is no sense,
yeah,
basically
that's
no
true.
sense to use Google. You should use Yandex and promote yourself in Yandex. There are some countries that use more fireworks. I don't know these countries, but I guess there are.
Yeah, but there is a thing that Google is like the, in general terms, like the monster of the world. So basically what applies to Google usually applies to Yandex or
You think
Baidu
so?
or other browsers. Yeah, when you are doing SEO, if you do a proper SEO and you optimize all the title tags, all the meta description, all everything, that applies to other browsers as well. You know, so basically when you are optimizing for browsers following Google guidelines, basically it's something that it's gonna help you rank better also in Yandex, with Baidu, or with DuckDuckGo or any other browser.
Okay, good. Okay, we have a question from Divya. I'm really sorry, guys, if I pronounce your names in not a correct way. So, based on the concepts of neuromarketing between B2B and B2C, what are the concepts that they work similarly on? What are the major differences? How would you tackle them? Harzarat, might be you would be able to answer. No? Yeah.
Yes. So, well, again, it comes to the human psychology. Even in B2B, they are humans, and whatever we are doing, like for example, we are going to pitch a project in B2B. So again, we are dealing with a human, and we have to work on the psychology of a human being. So the way we are negotiating and everything. So these are the similarities. Like we have to be quite proficient in order to analyze the psychological level of the another person. We can involve emotions into it. uh, I think so the key difference is that that would be more professional, the straightforward thing. Yes. However, in neuromarketing, the different other channels are being used in order to amplify the effect of that marketing. So digital marketing is also one of the amplification channel into neuromarketing. These are the channels. Even we use quite other methods or other channels of marketing, the traditional ones, email marketing, or you can say maybe for B2B, the TV advertisement or something like that. So traditional methods and digital methods are also being involved into it for creating ads, or maybe the LinkedIn we can use. So in this way we can include for B2B. Yes, neuromarketing. Again, it comes to the market segmentation. You have to analyze with whom you are dealing.
I guess that's the key. That's the key in everything. Guys, do you have other questions? Because here I see the comment, the example from Harzarat. I have several examples more. I see that Lee sent us the file, okay, about truth and lies, right? Do you have any other questions? Someone? Any questions? Okay, so then I guess we're done. Thank you a lot, guys. It was like a really productive hour. Okay, one last question. Let's answer the last one. Uh, we have a lot. We hear a lot about martech and edtech. What's that? Martech and edtech. Stephanie, could be? No, no. Mohammed,
Yes,
Alvaro.
sorry, I cannot help you with that. Yeah.
Alvaro might be, or guys, someone.
I think the only thing I can say, this is the future. I don't know what else, because I don't know what is it.
So Mohammed, for the next talk, we will prepare ourselves and find out what's that, because we basically don't hear a lot about it. We'll find out. How would you apply the principles of Caldini? Okay, someone? Any?
Well, Cialdini's principles are quite applicable in neuromarketing. So I will give example of one or two. So the first principle of Cialdini is reciprocation. So for example, we are human beings and we have this thing in our heart or in our mind that we reciprocate the things that are being done to us. So for example, if someone has done something for us, we always have this thing in our heart that we would have to return it, human beings have a tendency to return the favors. So this is called the principle of reciprocation in Cialdini's principle. So example here is, for example, LinkedIn or any other freemium models. Like freemium model means free plus premium services. So let's say I'm giving here example of LinkedIn. So LinkedIn offer free service to the customers. They offer maybe free. Some of the websites offer free articles. Read the free article. So once your customer is habitual of reading your content or having your getting engaged with your brand or your product or your service, then they would have this thing in their mind, that tendency to reciprocate to it. So many people would sign up for your services once they get habitual of it. So this is the example of one of the principle of Cialdini. Another thing is unity. Unity is also another principle of Cialdini, which means that try to make your customers familiar with your brand. So the best example here is IKEA. So they engage their customers while creating or while building their own furniture. So do it yourself policy. So that is, get yourself involve your customers doing something with your brand. So they include their customer into their brand like this, like create your things on your own. Um, Another thing is, while writing your articles, you should use such words which would be familiar to your customers or your target audience. The right choice of words matters a lot. You have to create a familiar touch with your customer. So that is another principle called unity of Cialdini. So there are many others. There are 7 principles of Cialdini that we
Great.
that is completely into this neuromarketing and experiential brand marketing.
Great, great. Thank you a lot, Harzarat.
That
Really,
I,
really clear
yes, I
example.
would like to reply to Mohammed that he was asking something with the limited budget, and he was talking about LinkedIn ads. LinkedIn ads right now, they're not cheap. That's one thing we have to take into account. So I would rather to focus on deliver really good content that is relevant for your target. So still, LinkedIn, it's a channel that you can work organically, but in terms of ads, it's expensive. In this matter, Twitter and Facebook are more cheaper. Okay.
Thank you a lot, guys. Once more, it was really productive hour. Uh, Me myself, I've learned a lot. I guess all the audience that was participating a lot as well. So thank you a lot for your answers. Thank you a lot for sharing with us your experience. It was really great. Well, all the participants, they have your contact information. So if they have any particular interest, they will be able to contact you. Okay, it's always good to have this one communication. They have LinkedIn accounts, or your LinkedIn accounts. So to sum up, first of all, whether we talk about marketing, whether we talk about marketing trends, find out who is your target audience. This is the first step always. Who is your audience? A grandma that is never using the social media or digital marketing, whatever. So this is one strategy. Or if it's a young boy or girl who is 16, 19, or 25, and they're using a lot of social media. So it's another one strategy. Always start with the target audience. Then emotions. So doesn't matter what you do, everything needs to be really emotional nowadays, and you have to be fast. So you have from 3 to 5 seconds to catch your client. Then do you remember when the publicity lasted about 1 minute and a half, 2 minutes? So we can forget about it. 5 seconds, it's like, then you have to pack your message, the main message, in 5 seconds. And also in this one, 3 to 5 seconds, you have to go to action. So why you are doing this publicity? Then use voice messages, because nowadays people are watching Instagram or other one social media, and sometimes they don't have time to watch the pictures, but the voice is always helping. So nowadays the voice message is a really great tool in social media. Okay, test, do a lot of test your publicity, whether you would like to do it in TikTok, whether you would like to do it in the other one social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. A/B testing is something really helping. It doesn't matter whether you are doing emailing or whatever. And again, be fast, emotions, and target audience. I guess from 1 hour, it's like the sum up of what we've just said, right? If someone would like to add something else, you're welcome. If no, then thank you a lot, guys, for participating. It was really interesting. It was really, really useful. And I guess in all the events like that, it's important to make it useful for the audience, right?
Thank you so much for having us. It was a pleasure to meet you, and hopefully, well, we can be in contact soon. We have all the contact information, so yeah, we can connect.
Great. Thank you a lot, Sonia. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you, Tatiana, for organizing. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Stephanie. It was
Thank
really
you, Tatiana. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Alvaro. Thank you. Harsirat, great to see you.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah, same
Thanks,
here.
guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.